Hey guys, and welcome back to another free plugin Friday where we look at plugins that you can use in your productions that are completely free. Now today we are looking at Black from Acustica Audio, so another Acustica Audio. And this one is kind of interesting because a lot of Acustica Audio's free plugins are kind of like small versions of their other plugins, right? They're kind of different kind of takes or whatever. Now, Black, on the other hand, is basically a preamp suite, and the free plugin comes with one preamp, and you can just buy more models. So that the paid part of it is just getting more different preamp models, and it comes with one for free, which is the Navy Germanium bank. So it kind of looks complicated, but it's actually a really simple plugin. Comes in two versions, Black Guru, which we've got open, and normal Black. The difference is just in the presets and choosing them and the metering and the mic channels and stuff. They both do the same thing. And of course, you've got zero latency versions, as with nearly all Acustica Audio plugins. It looks a bit confusing, but this is just kind of the whole preset deal. They've got preset banks. Although you can lead banks here, you've got them, and you've got different mic channels. So each different bank comes with 8 different mic channels, and you can pick a mic channel. You have a high pass, you have a low pass, you have an input with auto gain, which if you've heard my rants before about lacking auto gain, great feature to have. And then you've got this kind of LED readout that tells you if you're in the right range for the preamp. Now, what I found really interesting in my kind of messing around with it, setting up this video, is how undifferent different gain sounds, and we'll get into that. Now, usually when I look at plugins, I like to play a whole track through them, mess with all the settings, and go back and put them on different sources, but we're going to be here forever, and this is probably not what this preamp's designed for. This preamp, I think, to my kind of ears, is designed to be a preamp. It's designed to put on multiple tracks and glue together your mix. So we are going to look at it on individual things, but what I've done is I've put it on a bunch of tracks in this song I'm working on. And you can see here, I've got them all here. We've got drums, bass, we've got several clean guitars, some dirty guitars, synths, vocals, and backing vocals. And you may think, well, that's not enough tracks. The thing is, if we have a look at my VST performance here, this is a super loaded session. And really, I couldn't put on any more tracks without hitting the CPU ceiling. And then I can't do stuff in real time, and I can't show you the plugin. That's partly just because of how many plugins I've got going on. If we take a quick look at all the tracks, you can see this is kind of the entire thing. A lot of tracks, a lot of plugins. I've actually turned a lot off, and we'll get into that. Because I use a lot of saturation plugins, a lot of preamp plugins, I've turned them all off. So I've turned off all my my tape plugins. I've turned off my slate style pre plugins so that this is kind of doing the preamp kind of gluing thing, so you can kind of hear it. So let's just start on drums. I've only put it on the drum bus. Again, I'd like to put it on all 20 drum tracks, but I just don't have the processing power, which sounds ridiculous. I mean, I've got a really good processor. I just think Cubase is probably fairly inefficient when it comes to this. It's just, yeah, it's just pushing to the max. So let's put it on the drums first and go through the features. So we have banks here. Now, because this is the free version, we don't have the extra banks. So we've got no preamp, and we've got Navy Germanium. You've got mic 1 to 8 and mic 9 to 16. So we're going to leave it on 1 to 8. We're actually going to put them, most things on 1 to 8, and then some things on 9 to 16. We'll get to that a bit later. We've got this input. So first we're going to put the auto gain on. No reason to not use the auto gain unless you need some gain stagings, which you shouldn't in a digital environment. It just means that it compensates for the input. And like I said, we're going to choose 1. So let's hit play. So we've got a bit of overflow going on. Turn it down. So we're hitting kind of the low to optimal. So we're getting that optimal range. And let's drive it all the way up. And this is what I found interesting. It's not really distorted. I would expect a geranium, which I think is a germanium. Geranium, I don't know what the geranium's meant to be, but I think it's meant to be germanium. They've got weird names, you know, Acustica. This sounds fine. Let's check with bypass. Let's keep it in the hot region. Let's like the hot way. It's just getting a bit hot. Kind of smoothing out that snare a bit. So let's just look at the high pass and low pass. You might not use them, you might. It saves you from using your own plugin for that. Let's look at the low pass. Fairly smooth, sounds fine. I probably wouldn't use them just because I prefer using my own EQs to do that. But again, a lot of preamp, my Slate preamps, the tube preamps, they all have a high pass feature too that I don't really use, but you might use it for yourself. But yeah, so far it's not offensive. There's nothing wrong with how it sounds. It's changing the low end a little bit and a little bit of the high mids. Okay, let's have a look at bass. So we've got it set on 2 for bass. Just so we've got a different mic channel. What we might do is go through some mic channels later on. We'll see if we have time. It's way too low, obviously. Could use that low pass. It's adding a little bit of something. Let's go look at guitars. So we don't need that guitar. This guitar. It's a fairly simple kind of washy guitar. Let's look at both wash guitars. So we've got the left hand 1. I'm going to put that on 3, this on 4. Again, same thing, bring it all the way down. Drive it up, see what happens. I like it driven up. Adds a little bit of 3D-ness or something. Okay, let's look at some more guitars. Okay, so now we have some more kind of clean guitars. These are kind of the main kind of riff in the chorus. Bypassed. Let's put it on 5. Well, they've got this nice texture to them, really. You would expect it to crunch, but it doesn't crunch. It just kind of compresses. Super subtle, though. It's not so subtle as the auto gain feature, but it's fine. Okay, so now some distorted guitars. We've got these ones. See what I can do on the distorted guitars. So I've gone and put the distorted guitars on different channels. This is channel 11. Yeah, you can hear them crunch up there. Let's put it all in optimal again. Okay, how about some synths? Still very subtle on the synths. Okay, we'll just skip right to the vocals.
But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you. I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you. I don't know what to say.
We're driving it pretty hot here. Might back it off a bit.
My tongue 'cause it's so cold.
Could use the high pass a little bit, maybe. And the low pass. Let's see.
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause
just make it a little flatter, a bit more up here.
Right next to you.
Okay, so the big test, like I said, this is what we want to do with the preamp, right? So I'm going to pick one of them, just so I can control it. And what we're going to do is go in and select every single one, and then we're going to bypass it. So we're going to listen to the whole section. It's going to unsolo. So I've put them all on different mic channels. So what we might do is do it like this on all different mic channels, then put them all to one, and then I'll try and A/B it in the edit to see if you can hear the difference. So here it is without Black Guru on.
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you. I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold. Sitting on the outside.
So now let's listen to it with Black Guru. We've got it on different mic channels on each of these different channels you can see here.
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you. I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold. Sitting on the outside.
Okay, so last, because there's so many different mic channels, now we put them all on to see if that gives it more glue. But I wanted to hear if it sounds different with them all on the same. So same thing again, I'm going to put them all on channel 1 of the mic channels that is emulated. And then I'll put an ABC comparison, or maybe just an AB comparison of it set like this with it on different channels and then all on the same channel to see if there's a discernible difference. Okay, so here it is with them all set to the setting of mic channel 1. So last, what I wanted to do is get a completely different song and already kind of bounce down 2-track. It's not properly mixed. I mean, it's mixed a little bit, but okay. So what I wanted to do is get a 2-track to see if you could use it in a mastering capacity. Maybe give a little flavor to the 2-track and see if you can hear the difference between the mic channels. So what we're going to do is load up a quick little song that I've kind of just exported a kind of dance track and put it on that. So what we've got here is just a little bit of a 2-track of a kind of dance track. I think I used it in a different video. We're just going to turn it on, have a listen to what it does here on a 2-track instead of on different sources, and maybe jump through some mic channels to see if we can hear any difference. Let's start off with Bypassed. Okay, let's turn it on. Is that auto gain on?
I can't do these things alone. Give up on me now. Can't wait to find I love you. Give up on me now. I can't do these things alone. Give up. Give up. Give up.
Go through all the different mic channels.
Give up.
Try 916. We'll go back down the numbers. Okay, I think it's fair to leave it there. Now, I am not going to beat around the bush, at least with my monitoring setup. This thing is so subtle it hurts. Not that that means it's bad at all. It's great. It's just one of those, it's not going to be a game changer. It's not like put it on and suddenly you sound like you've mixed on a console. It's not going to do the heavy lifting for you, and pretty much no preamp plugin is. Now, I've tried a bunch of preamp plugins. I've got a bunch of free plugin Fridays on some of the analog sessions, so go look at them if you want to have a look at some other free preamps. And some are really subtle and some do a little bit more. I've got like Console is a really cool one, just adds a little bit of sauce. This is very similar, but even more subtle. I can't in real time hear the difference between the mic channels. I think a few of them, maybe two of them sounded slightly different, but not enough that I'm like, oh, I really need to listen to 13, but maybe I just need to mix more with that. It's kind of hard in a video to really get the full scope. We're going to see in the A-B comparisons how much difference it makes putting on different mic channels. I like these kind of plugins anyway, and a lot of the time, subtle is what makes them good. This mix, before I took everything off, had preamps. It has, and it still has on it, kind of saturating compressors, tape plugins, console plugins, but they're all set to only slightly saturate, and you can only hear it on some sources, and very subtle, and then build up at the end to really glue it together. And the thing you kind of notice with those kind of plugins, the more you use those things, you kind of mix into them, and then you turn them off and your mix falls apart because you've kind of set your mix to work together with those plugins. They provide that glue and you've kind of mixed into it, whereas normally you'd probably use maybe more compression to glue it, or EQ slightly different. So there's all pros and cons to using these kind of plugins. I think you should just try it for yourself. It's hard to completely compare certain things like the mic channels and input due to the way that Aqua plugins work using kind of complex IRs, I think, because it's not always smooth. There's little bumps in the A-Bing because of the latency changes, and it has to kind of load things. And that's my problem with acoustic audio plugins, is I find it really hard to A-B. I mean, you could do a whole mix and then obviously turn it off and then like render the mix and do it that way. But in real time, it's really hard to make quick snap decisions, which I can with my Slate plugins, but that's all personal preference. A lot of people love these plugins. So go try it out yourself. Maybe it does that little 1% extra that just makes your mix golden. That's what this kind of plugin's for. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be for every model. Now, if you pay for the other models, there's 2 packs of 10. I don't know, maybe there's some really aggressive models in there that I think there's going to be some tape ones and stuff that really saturate and give you like dirty. It's just this one that comes with it. It's just very, very subtle. So thanks for watching. Go check out the other Free Plugin Friday. Go check out some other videos. I keep saying there's more coming out. It's been a bit weird with lockdown. If you don't know, in Melbourne, we are in a pretty extreme lockdown right now with a curfew and everything. So it makes it's hard, to get videos out there because there's a lot kind of going on. But that's the different story. So I will see you next time. Please subscribe, like I said, and hopefully you have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, and I'll catch you later.